The 10 to be crowned.
Oh, some very good shots.
The world 10-ball champion.
Welcome everybody to the Predator WPA Junior World Championships. And it's the girls division, 10-ball is the game. First of all, we're at the semi-final stage. We're going to introduce you to the players over on table number 2. Representing Chinese Taipei, please give a big hand for Wang. Her opponent from the United States of America, please give a big hand for Helfry. Your match official on table number 2 from New Zealand, Zane Bernard. Now to table number 1, please give a big hand for United States of America's Sarah Easter. Her opponent today from Sweden, Lydia Hansson. The referee on table number 1 from Australia, Missing Chow. Ladies, good luck. Please line for the break.
Well, thank you very much, Luke, for that kind introduction to this Predator WPA Junior World Championships event. We're in the girls' semi-finals. A great matchup here between Mingling Wang of Chinese Taipei. She takes on Jordan Helfry of the USA. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me in the comms box, also from the USA, Eric Horlison. Welcome, Eric.
Hey, good to be with you guys. Down to the semifinals here, Gethin. Getting close to the title.
Indeed, indeed. And it's 2 Americans have made it into the semis. It could be an all-American fair in the final. I'm sure these players have different ideas, but great representation from the US. I haven't got to see Jordan Helfry yet, but I have heard good things, not only about her, but her opponent, Mingling Wang. So clearly both players doing very well to get to this stage. There was a tough field out there, and a good opportunity to see the young guns and the future superstars in the sport.
Yeah, Jordan's an up-and-coming player in North America. She plays on the WPBA Tour. She's just coming off a win at the Junior International Open last week. One of the strongest American girls, right up there with Savannah and Sophia. Wang I'm not too familiar with. Tried to Google her Fargo. Someone with a similar name came up at 730. That'd be extremely high for a junior player. It's possible. I'll be interested to see how she gets on in this match.
Starts off with a very effective break, Eric, making a ball and leaving good shape on the 1. And as we've seen over the past 7 days, we do have one more day to come. Some players have struggled with the break format, and well, not in this case.
Yeah, good start here. Right on the 1. Just wants to avoid the 9 and 5, coming back towards the 2. Nicely done. Looks like a little too much angle here to hold, but could possibly draw out of it and play the 4 in the same pocket.
She's got a good spread off the break. The 6-7 is lying a little tricky, but there is space around the back side of the pair. Oh, that is rather unfortunate, Eric.
It is. I mean, you know, just elevated, got the wanted draw to the cue ball, but just took a tough path towards the 4 there.
There was quite a good representation from the US in this Predator WPA Junior World Championship event, Eric. Are they all traveling together as a team, or do some have to come from further afield? The US is a big place.
Yeah, Savannah's from California. Jordan, I'm not sure. I'll check in a second. Sophia's from the Carolinas, I believe, maybe Florida. So they're not that close. Savannah's family always travels with her. Not quite sure about the other two.
Oh, she went full-blooded for the pot, caught the middle jaw, and it's popped out in not too bad a position for her here. Really good offensive play straight out the gate from Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan is from Missouri. So really the top 3 all from different parts of the country. Good shot there.
Really like that. Well, if this is the aggressiveness that's got Helfry to this point, why stop? That was really nicely played. Could have been a bit of trouble for her there, but navigated it beautifully.
Yeah, she recently had about a top 16 or maybe even a top 12 finish in the Women's World 8-Ball Championship. She beat a couple very highly ranked players along the way. So she's capable of hanging with the best in the world, never mind the best juniors in the world. It's like a good match here from Wang to stay with her. Slightly missed there.
Yeah, played it in a good way that the 8-10 would have provided cover. These Predator arc tables are cut so tight on the pockets. The center pockets can be deceiving at times.
Like the cue ball behind the 10 here, maybe Bouet. Focus on the cue ball mostly. Close, but I believe she's left the right edge. Tough to develop anything real safe off the right edge. Really just side rail to side rail was all that was available. Chance for Wang to get back on top of her here. 2 rails back behind the 8-10 with the cue ball.
Yeah, good exchange. It's nice to see both of them coming up with good safety play. It's all very well potting balls for fun, which many of these juniors have just been demonstrating, but if you can back it up with a good safety game,
Let's try there on the kick and stick, but just didn't get quite behind the 9. First good chance to win the rack for Wang here. Interested to see how she gets through these balls. This will be very telling for the rest of the match. Seemed pretty capable at her first 2 turns of the table.
yeah, we've seen some fantastic play from the Chinese Taipei players. making mixed double finals, going deep in our little monster international opens, and clearly they're really developing the youth well over there too.
Looks like she can miss the 10 here going forward. Likely playing to the short side of the 9. Oh, she can't miss it, Gethens. We're going to have to draw out of this one.
Yeah, she maybe even tried to play it on the thicker side to encourage avoiding that. I did like the way she calmly stepped back, thought about it, was the key shot, and took her extension. Both players playing on the shot clock. They do have one extension to call per rack.
Couple early mistakes from both here.
Yeah, and you have to feel this is another good opportunity for Wang. But we're in the first rack.
Yeah, and the nerves are going to be a little higher. They're starting to see the finish line here. Recognize the draw to that one properly. Cubo was playing a little too close to the 9. One rail follow. He's got options here. So many that I don't even really want to call this one. Maybe soft draw around 2 rails and 10 into the bottom right. But really preference on this one. I was thinking about this too. It's a good shot. More into the angle. Nicely played.
Yeah, very delicately done. She needed the extension for that. Was reaching. Played it well. Well, both players getting opportunities in this first rack, so not going all their way. However, Wang takes the first rack in this race to 7. Slightly different format for our viewers that are joining, that have been watching the Little Monster International Opens. They were played in race to 4, best of 3 sets. This is just one set. And a couple of differences. You may be able to help me out here, Eric. I know that early 10s you're not able to call. WPA rules.
Yeah, that's the main one. And all world championships run by Predator go to the 1 race format. More traditional overall format. Yeah, just judging by rack number 1 there, I think Wang's going to be competitive in this match. I guess another difference too here is it's alternate breaks instead of winter breaks. Going from the middle, ball down. Oh, the 8 ball got her last second, Gethin.
Oh,
I
was about to say our first look at Jordan's break and making a ball off the break. You couldn't allow for that to happen. That's terrible. That poor 8 ball put Jordan in trouble, and she's pushing, which will give her opponent the option now to take this long one on or to give it back. Pretty confident she'll take this shot on, maybe not the pot. Oh, where the 2 is, I think it'd be quite natural.
shot. Too straight on the 2, but doesn't have to be perfect on the 3. Just draw back to where the cue ball is now. Wang is very solid fundamentally.
Yeah, she didn't try to do too much there. Accepted. It's not a difficult pot on the 3, but does have a bit of traffic to navigate.
Got through the 7-10 gap nicely. A little more angle than ideal here. Cue ball is playing up towards the 5. Might want to stun into the 8th. Really don't run a slow roll balls that are this far from the pocket.
Well, she did take a piece of the 8, but didn't make sure of the pot. The 4 has come back up to the 50-yard line, so nothing easy coming Jordan's way at the moment, but a good opportunity nevertheless. To put her opponent in trouble, Eric. And that cue ball will maybe just come up a smidge short. Very good distance.
Yeah, we'll see how offensive Wang wants to get here. Only reason I'd consider it is because the safes are very tough. Not bad. Helfry's going to look to get behind the 9 now. Nicely in control of this rack. Wang's going to have to come up with a kick save here. Pretty standard one. Object ball is a little further from the rail than it usually is.
It was a nice, delicate shot from Jordan to put her opponent in trouble there.
Good shot. Hit the proper side of the ball. Created some distance. Jordan had a bit of a longer distance miss in the first rack. We put to the test here again.
Yeah, it's just off straight, so if she makes the pot, we'll avoid the scratch. Where that cue ball is makes this shot very tricky. Oh, that's a confident pot. And Eric, her first pot in the first rack was special too. I really do like this girl's offensive game.
Yeah, just wondering if she was trained or helped out by one of the top coaches in the U.S. who's also from Missouri, Mark Wilson. Fundamentals look strong as well.
Again, getting good distance between the balls. Does give Wang a look at it, but it's quite tight on that top short rail, Eric. I'm not even sure if it's locked. That will make this shot more tricky.
Yeah, typically you'd cross this one up the middle, but being so close to the rail, I think I'd avoid that play. Here's a good
Wow.
shot, Gethin. What a
Well,
shot.
sit down, ladies and gentlemen. That was the thinnest of contacts, and look at the cue ball control. Well, it will be shots like this that will make a difference in matches when you get to the semi-final closing stages of such events. And it looks like Helfry is going to go airbound here. Eric, big shot for her.
Yeah, called the 5 on the side. Good result.
Very nice result indeed. And has come up against the 7. It's not going to hamper Wang's cueing, but from that position, I'm sure Jordan will be very happy.
Well, she's left the bank on Gethin. It might be laying just a little long.
I actually didn't know if Wang was going to take the long bank on in the previous shot, because the cue ball would have come round to a similar position and the 7 would have threatened to block it. Well, Jordan turned down the bank to play an effective safety, and that cue ball looked like it was going to track up against the 9. May have leaked an edge, and an edge might just be enough to see the potting angle.
Yeah, there is a path 2 rails out of the corner here, near where her chalk is with the cue ball. See if she recognizes it.
That was a tough one. Cue balls come up against the long rail here, which will make the cueing a bit more tricky for Jordan. But she looks like she has an angle. May have to take a long pot on the 7 as a result, but it's an opportunity nevertheless.
It's okay here. Distance the only thing really standing in her way. Stay solid on your fundamentals on shots like this.
She did that indeed. Didn't need to do too much with the cue ball for where the 8 is. We'll be tracking around the table. Wants to stay away from the 9. Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of cue ball movement there. It's tough to really pinpoint the cue ball just off the mark. She can cut the 9 into the 10 here and create some distance going up table with the cue ball.
Yeah, she did that well.
Yeah, I think the combo's a little off angle. Otherwise, she might consider kicking at it. Just a little too off angle there. So she'll look to cut the 9 into the 10, similar to Helfry.
I have to say, Eric, I love the overhead camera. I would like it when I'm practicing.
Yeah, it really gives you a good shot of exactly how the balls are lying. It's the second thin contact safe that Wang's come up with. Good one.
Well, the 9 looks quite close to the short rail. The 10's got a little gap. If it was the other way round, there may be a way for Jordan to bring the 9 out and freeze the cue ball against the 10, but this is a tough position for the young American here.
Nine ball's coming out enough, and looks like we're going to be at 2-0 here.
Oh, it's tight.
I'll take it.
Well, just may need to give it a bit of premise to get the cue ball back over, and that will encourage any inaccuracies. However, it looked like Wang chose to make sure of the pot and has somewhat finished halfway between either side of this 10. Now, is there enough angle to play the 10 back up the center of the table and create distance?
Just barely. Side rail. The side rail is there too.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, the one's leaked up a bit, and with no traffic, I think in an earlier match, Eric, you were alluding to leaving players in this position, and I'm fully aware of how well the Americans bank.
Yeah, it is a pretty dead-on bank. Just thick enough to cut if she wants. That's pretty defensive there, and Wang's going to have a chance.
Yeah, looking from that other angle, Eric, the cut certainly was on. It was a very thin cut. Well, important shot. Will take her lead to 2. The cue ball. Oh, very well done. And yes, Ming-Ling Wang of Chinese Taipei takes an early 2-0 lead against the American Jordan Helfry in this race to 7 in our Predator WPA Junior World Championships Girls Semi-Finals. The other semi-final underway is between Savannah Roadrunner Easton and Linnea Halmerstrom, and they're playing on our other stream table. Both matches being played at the same time. And just to let our viewers know, if you're looking to see what's coming up on the schedule today, following on from this, we have the World Junior Boys Under 17s kicking off at 12, and the World Junior Boys Under 19s at 3. And then following that, we have the Little Monster Men's International Open semi-final finishing us off at 5 p.m. tonight. But we'll bring you back to Ming-Ling Wang breaking, leading by 2 racks to 0. Nearly made the one
on the break. Nothing here.
The one wasn't far away from the cut break, and it kicked off the center jaw into not a bad position for Jordan, but she's got to thread the cue ball for position on the 2. Yeah, just misjudged the pace there. That was tricky with the 4 ball where it was.
Yeah, forced into a jump here. Gonna try to jump it right in.
No hesitation either, Eric. I like that. It was a tough one, but I did like the way that she did not even think about turning it down. That will give ball in hand to Wang. I'm just having a quick look around the table, Eric. Not a bad spread.
Yeah, ideally she'd like to get a comfortable angle on the 3 where she can move towards the 4. Once she gets 4, the table's going to open up decently. It's a little bit tough to open up to the left side of the table for the 5, and I don't believe the 5 passes the 6. So a bit of work to be done here in the first 3 shots.
Wants to be a little bit careful not to run too far on the 3, because if she's forced to come the other side, it will not pass the 8. Looks quite straight, Eric.
Yeah, I believe she is going the wrong way here. Might have to try to run into the 4. That's all she could do there.
Yeah. However, if she's able to screw back half a ball off this 4, she may be able to put Helfry in quite a bit of trouble. I'm just wondering if she's looking at the 4-8 as insurance. I'm not too sure exactly what she called because the applause is going on.
Yeah, just focusing on the cue ball behind the 9 here. Biggest issue is going to be hitting the 4 thick enough that it can draw straight back.
Yeah, maybe she didn't have the angle to be able to draw back, so chose to use the 9 as a bit of a blocker to secure the cue ball, and that 4, I think, had the pace to travel up far enough to be hampered, but it caught the 7, and it's left. Well, I think Jordan has called the 7 in the centre pocket, so taking on an aggressive combination and making it. Great stuff, Eric.
Yeah. The cue ball's moving it all towards the 5 here. She'll be in good position for this rack. Looks like it is.
Good angle left on this 6 to float off the long rail.
That's a good compact stroke.
It is.
Not too long on the backstroke, but still good timing.
Fundamentals, as you pointed out, are solid, and well, this is a very good opportunity for her to get her account underway. We're only in the 3rd rack. But really good signs from both players. Some good aggressive offense. We've had a good look at their defense as well.
Just recognize she has to take some distance there. Pretty big shot coming up for Helfry here in the early going. Doesn't want Wang to get too far away from her.
Yes, very nicely done, Eric. And we have as a match, Jordan Helfry brings the score back to 2-1 in this race to 7. Alternate break, and I believe that it's Jordan's break now. I hope I've got that correct. And we'll give her a good chance of bringing the scoreline back to level. I have to say, we were talking about fundamentals, but their demeanour around the table is very cool, calm and collected. Joy to watch.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot more available for junior pool players in the US now. Well, Predator had a good junior series running for a couple years. They didn't actually run it this past year. They play about 6 or 7 major events a year. Jordan already a part of the WPBA.
Yeah, Predator have been putting a lot of effort into the junior game. And, well, how scared should our more senior players be of what is coming around the corner? Looks like, well, 2 minutes 50 seconds. 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 2 min no edge available on the 1 after the break. Dry break, playing a push shot down towards the 4. Looking to block up the 4. Not a bad effort. Just come short. And now Jordan Helfrey has the choice, and I think she will stay at the table.
Yeah, choice of getting the cue ball behind the 7 or the 8 here.
Ooh.
Come up a little short with the 1, so a chance for Wang. Believe the 4 is going to be available on the bottom left.
Yep. Playing that slowly where the 8 was, didn't really want to do anything with the cue ball. Left herself a nice angle. Gonna need to maybe draw it quite a lot to hold, ideally, with where the cue ball is now.
Yeah, I think the 7 was just a little in the way of that drawing path, so accepted a little angle here. She does want to be attacking the 4 from more in the middle. Could avoid running into the 10 in that case.
Yeah, and doing just that. Maybe we'll bump the... No, straight shot. Good angle. Well, good no angle.
Yeah, she can possibly avoid it here. Looking for her first full table run of the match. Still in good position, straight back draw now. A little bit worried about the cue ball coming back too far to the right, so going to follow with some left. Good stroke there. Good quality top on the cue ball.
Yeah, very nice decision making from her. The screw was on, but would have threatened position like you quite rightly pointed out. So electing to force follow through to great effect. And, well, after playing a containing push that Savannah failed to play safe from, this has been rock solid in this 4th rack from Mingling Wang. Both players bringing it. Good to see. May be able just to draw it back, or will go up in and out off the short rail on the top. Yeah. Very nicely done indeed.
Yeah, stayed in control well here in this rack. No real tough shots. Was slightly out of line on the 2, but recovered quickly. Got perfect on the 4.
And that's a good response to Jordan Helfrey's last rack that she won, and Mingling Wang keeping her 2 rack advantage. And in the alternate break format, I feel very important. Race to 7. I think getting to 4 will be a nice milestone. and will start to give them the winning feeling. So I think now it's important that Jordan brings her offensive game and maybe asserts a bit more dominance.
Yeah, she can. I can tell by how she hits the ball. She's capable of full table runs. Just looking to get a little looser in this final.
Quick update for our viewers who are watching this table but keen to know what's going on our other table. Between Savannah and Linnea, it's 2-2, so a tight affair on our other table. Wang to break. She leads by 3 racks to 1.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that one. European #1 against USA #1. Savannah has been chasing this title for a couple years now. Made it to the final last year. Has had a great amount of success in her early young career so far. But I think she really wants this title. See how she is able to get on.
I think you're right, Eric. It's been also great to see Savannah having fun in our Little Monster mixed couples event. Somewhat let their hair down, get to see a little bit of a different side of the players. It's been a joy to watch. Ooh. Just held up in the corner pocket, and that 9 has not come to the rescue, so it's deep in there though. However, Eric?
Yeah, has to find a way to draw out of this one, avoiding the points. Might be forced to go straight back out of the pocket. It's a good shot, just overhit.
Yeah, they're very tricky when they're tucked in there to judge. I heard corner, not which one. Maybe as insurance for a safety. Oh, full-blooded.
Just got it. Gonna have to have room between the 6 and the rail. Not there. Haven't seen Wang jump yet. This one's a little bit out in the middle of the table. So she's gonna kick at it.
Yep, using a good system there. Wondering if that last knuckle on the center pocket may hamper the perfect line. She may need to maneuver the cue ball a little bit here.
Yeah, looks like a bit of draw to widen the cue ball out. She is going at it with middles. Tough to get wide enough, but she actually got too wide there.
Yeah, she did.
Chance for Jordan to get one back.
Yeah, and the
first 3 balls pretty elementary.
Yeah, not a bad position for the 6 to get onto the 7 without doing too much.
Good angle here to move towards the 7. Ideally wants a little angle on the 7 to come off the rail for the 8 in the same pocket as the 6. She's got that.
Yeah, and staying low on this 8 would be natural, just to float up to the 9. So Jordan really making this pattern, well, look easy. I assure you it's not. Could do with a little angle off this 8-ball.
It's going to want to stay off the rail here, give herself a comfortable angle coming back towards the 10. Nicely done. Up the left side now.
Well, I wouldn't say it was a must-win rack, but this will do Jordan a lot of good, keeping Wang close. And she has done, Eric. She brings the score back to 3-2. Her a generous applause in the background. We really do have as a match, and well, we just have a little moment. I just want to put a thanks out to our sponsors who have been able to all bring this event to you. We have Box Billiards, Samsung TV Plus, which will explain all the great colours, Little Monster themselves, thank you, Predator, and Yalin, Kamui official chalk and tips, and the last two, the World Pool Association and the International Billiard Promotion Foundation, have all put a lot of work and effort into bringing this event to you. So thank you, and thank you also to my co-commentator Eric Hawlison. This has been so much fun. I cannot believe the quality of pool we've had over the past 7 days.
Yeah, great international event, and we have one more event in Spain coming up, Euro Tour, starting on Thursday.
Yeah, good shot, Eric. There'll be many players that were here hanging around for the Euro Tour event. There will be only a one-day pause. We also have one more day to come of this Predator World Pool Association Junior World Championships. But we are in this beautiful location in Gandia, just south of Valencia on the Mediterranean coast in Spain, the Gandia Palace Hotel. So the players with that day, I'm sure, will be having fun on the beach. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Jordan Helfrey at the table with an open look at this one ball, Eric.
Yeah, very makeable one, but tough to get back on the 2. I think she can just kind of drop it in and play safe on the 2. Cue ball behind this free will work here.
Froze the cue ball lovely there to guarantee this look at it. I think that's nicely done. Very nicely done, using the 3 to take a bit of energy out of the cue ball and put the 2 in a nice position. There's no jump available. Well, I say that, so these juniors have surprised me on many occasions over the past 7 days. So I shouldn't say it's not available. Looks like she's considering going up the top of the table around the 8-4.
Oh, that's where she would have called it.
Oh, I was just... No, good honesty, didn't call it. I was just about to ask if she did. Well, that brings Jordan back to the table. Good shot from Wang to get out of what was a very useful safety. Did make the 2-ball, but sadly didn't call it. This is call shot in this 10-ball event.
Yeah, it's one thing when a ball goes in a different pocket, but that would have been the most obvious one, so she'll remember that with experience. No good for Helfry here. Ideally wants enough of the 4 to be able to cut it up the middle and possibly play the cue ball behind the 5. I was pretty sure she could see the left. Oh, okay, she's just calling it down there in case it banks in. I thought she was going to kick at it for a second.
Yeah. She played your shot, Eric. Would have loved the cue ball to get behind the 5. And I think the 4's just leaked out, but there's no easy shot on for Wang here. Did I hear 6 called? No.
Yeah, typically you'd want to cut the 4 to the left long rail and come up. I was going to say the 7's in the way, but she recognized that and just played it over softly.
Oh, that's looking nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful
quite
line of
get
the
there.
cue ball there.
Yeah, just didn't quite get to that real bad spot for Wang. But forced the chance here. Good starter. 7 balls in a tough spot. Looks like it's going to have to be played into the top right.
Yeah, that 7 is tricky. It's on the rail. She's played that nicely. Come up through the 8-9. Nice angle to come over for the long 7.
Ideal spot for the 7, not too straight. Doesn't have to overhit the speed, can still get off the rail. Done well to get to this point. And this to tie the set up at 3 each. Oh, it's not there though. She's left it.
You said it, Eric, that 7 was in a real tough spot, and let me reassure you, I've seen people turn down them shots before. Really tricky. However, Wang back at the table.
A little too much angle here. Might be forced to come around 3 rails on the 9 if she wants to play it in the side. I think that's safer than coming across for the corner. Yeah, nothing wrong with this. Drawing over to the left side of the table now.
Nicely controlled.
Well, after the first 6 games, I would say there's not much between them. Pretty similar level players. Really, it's going to come down to nerve and avoiding easy errors.
Agreed. And it did look like Jordan was going to bring the scoreline back to level, and that would back up what you were saying. There's not much between these two at all, both delivering good safeties, both getting out of good safeties as well, and both, by all accounts, and going on the play over the 7 days that have got us here, sorry, to day 7, they're probably breaking up there with the best of them too. So a little bit more fortune going their way in these hand-racked 10 balls. Well, I have to say, this is up there, and it certainly explains how Jordan has been able to compete at the senior level. I'm wondering, we don't know so much about Mingling Wang. I'm sure we will do after this event, but it'll be interesting to see at what events she gets to play back in Chinese Taipei. I'm pretty sure she rattles plenty of the seniors.
Yeah, they're both strong players. I put them both around 650 Fargos. Chance for Helfry here if the 7 doesn't get in the way, and it hasn't.
No, she had a similar position earlier where the 8 had just got in the way at the last minute. 7 threatened to do the same. But this time it appears she does have a look at the 1, and she will pounce. Well, I know on the other table, Eric, we have Savannah Roadrunner. I'm just wondering, are you aware of if Jordan has a nickname? I can't see one on her shirt.
I think it's Pool Shot, from what I remember.
I will certainly have a check. I know we've had a few wacky pool names in this tournament. One of the local home hopefuls, Jonas Suto, I was reliably informed was called Island Boy. That's an interesting one.
Nice. It's actually Dead Shot, not Pool Shot. I thought Pool Shot was kind of weird. Could have been wrong there. It's Dead Shot.
Oh, I
Nice
like that
nickname.
one. Yeah, that's a good one. Right. Played for the 4 through the finest of gaps. And you know what? I think she's done that. What a shot. Well, I have to say, that was very,
Chance
very
here.
tight.
It's a big rack for Wang. Getting a 3-game lead in a match like this is pretty powerful. Jordan will start to feel the pressure too, being down by that amount. Needs to power draw out of this. If she doesn't want to hit all that speed, she can come across one rail. Confident enough to go for the draw here. Good hit.
Power draw indeed. Look at the power. It's come right back onto the 10 ball, Eric. Wow.
Yeah, unlucky to get right over the 10 here, and the way the cue ball's following, it's kind of playing into the right side of the 7, which isn't going to help her. She'll stay on offense, try to develop something with a 7, but it could go badly here. Yeah, so over top of it, and even made the queuing or the pocketing tough. A bit of a let off for Helfry here after a good shot from Wang. See what she can do with it.
I think the 6 does have a line, but is there a carom off the 7?
That's what she's targeting, yeah.
She went straight at it. And it's just rattled in the jaws, and the 8's tracked over to the corner pocket, and, well, that doesn't give Wang too much trouble. I do like the way Jordan approached that shot, pushing the 8 out the way and not risking moving the 7 into trouble, but it was a thin cut.
Yeah, it was a game winner if it went down. I don't blame her for taking the chance there. Getting a little urgent for Helfry if Wang gets through this rack. Nicely played there. Looks like the following angle is going a little wide. Might have to play another big power draw here, Gethin. A lot of options again, but that one kind of sticks out to me.
Well,
The following angle is getting into the short rail. It is possible to do something with follow. Yeah, she's going to try to come around to the right side here. Oh, cued higher and then drew it. Well, that's a big miss.
it is, and in turn, a great opportunity for Jordan. Similar position in the last rack. Wang stealing it somewhat from Jordan. Now this is Jordan's opportunity to return the favour. Didn't seem to get the effect she wanted off that long rail.
Yeah, just didn't catch quite enough draw to get good movement with the cue ball going towards the 10, and this is a big turning point in this match. She's called it in. Underdone it. See how far the cue ball gets over to the right here. Looks reasonably comfortable as far as thinness for Wang, but a lot of distance here. She's got
Yes,
it.
Eric. She has, and, well, 2 racks, 2 mishaps from Jordan Helfry, and that's seen Mengling Wang of Chinese Taipei extend her lead to 3. Well, it looks like Jordan has just taken a quick comfort break. While we bring up the other tables, I would suggest that my good colleague Eric Horliston and myself, we just quickly replenish the refreshments, and we'll be back with you very shortly when we return to the second part of this semi-final. Thank you. Well, a warm welcome back to this Predator WPA Junior World Championships Girls semi-finals. We rejoin for this thriller between Wang of Chinese Taipei and Helfry of USA. Helfry to break. My name's Gethin Davis. Joining me back in the box, my good dear colleague Eric Hallison. Where's the cue ball going, Eric?
Unlucky. We're right around the middle of the table with the cue ball just kicked in there.
Yeah.
And this is good signs for Wang, bad signs for Helfry. Pretty open table here.
Yeah, and a couple of missed opportunities by the young American is all rare misses. Opportunities is really the difference between the two. It's 5-2, race to 7. So Wang is closing in. Jordan breaking well, just really not getting any luck from it.
Yeah, a couple unexpected misses from Helfry. Just has to try and regroup here and hope she gets a shot in this rack, because being 4 racks down will be very daunting. Last rack was big. Could have got to within 4-3.
Well, there have been chances coming her way, so we'll be looking for another opportunity. Also, alternate break does help move momentum now and again, or certainly disrupt it.
Another big draw stroke coming from Wang here. Wants to get on the proper side of the 6. Good strike there. It's actually overdrawn it. It's still possible to avoid the 8 here. At worst, hitting the inside of it and still making progression towards the 7.
She does generate a lot of effect on that cue ball. Always had the 6 over the center pocket. Cue ball is running.
Speed was good. Chance to get on the hill now.
Yeah, the 8 is positioned very handy for her here. Cue ball was threatening to run down close to the 7.
It's the slightest bit too much angle, but looks like she can hold it with a good kill stroke. Cue the ball nice and low here. Follow played okay as well.
Yeah, needed the cue ball just to run a little bit more to make this 9 ball comfortable. Giving herself a little bit more work to do. I think this would be her second full rack run. Hell of a time to do it.
It's not there, Gethin.
No.
This is the breath of life that Helfry needed.
As I mentioned, chances have been coming her way. She's converted a few of them. But this one you feel more important than the others. Oh,
that's
dear.
a huge miss. Things just not going right for Helfry here in this match.
I have to say, I succumbed to that shot on so many occasions. Really hard to judge, especially when the ball is just off that long rail.
Yeah, I think she was
Yeah,
trying to play some running inside on that one and just caught a little too much deflection, caught it too thin.
And yes, Mingling Wang gets to the hill earlier than we all expected against the American Jordan Helfrey. She leads by 6 racks to 2. On our other table, we have one of Jordan's teammates, Savannah Roadrunner Easton, and she is taking on Linnea Halmerstrom of Sweden, and Eric, the European #1, I think you told me. And Savannah is leading 5 racks to 3, so a bit of a closer affair there. That's going on our other stream table right now.
Yeah, I have a feeling Savannah's on a track all the way to the final here. All the way to winning the championship. She's going to be in tough against Wang. But really the class of the field and showing up near the end. She beat last year's winner in the quarterfinals, Sophia Mast. Actually lost her first round of the tournament and came all the way back to being in a strong position now.
Yeah, Sophia Mast also out here, was playing in our little monster Women's International Open. Great American representation, great representation from Chinese Taipei too, which is where Mingling Wang is from. And she's breaking on the hill here. And
chance for Helfry if the one passes the 6.
It looks very tight.
Called the 1.
She maybe can only see half a pocket. Oh yeah, just. Didn't have a whole pocket there, Eric. Good opening shot.
Seven ball's gonna block the most obvious path back towards the 4. Likely gonna have to cross over to the left side here and recognizes that, leaves herself the proper angle. Just caught it a little thick in the pocket, so a little short on speed here. Tough to slow this one down, Gethin. I think it's possible, but she's actually going to the opposite corner pocket. Gonna be running into the 5 here.
Well, that was offensive in the sense of, looked like Helfry was wanting to bring this match back to her. There were safety options, but felt this was the moment to go for it. Hasn't really left the nicest of looks at the 4, and the 5 does have a 6 ball in the way to the top right, so Wang looking to put Jordan in trouble, and I'm not too sure she has.
Yeah, the cue ball can play over by the 6. It's tough to get it right behind the 6, but the 5, 7 are possible blockers here. She's okay there. Might have left the middle of the 4, but nothing on either edge to get into the pocketing.
No, the 4 nearly slid past the 7, which would have made this shot a lot trickier.
Oh, she feels like she has it in the corner. So first look at the win here for Wang.
Oh, great camera angle. That looks very thin, Eric. Ooh.
I think she only has the middle of it, really. Just calling it up there in case. Good try.
Yeah, good jump, good contact. The 4 has stayed out in the bottom, in the center of the bottom half of the table, and it does pass the 10. Jordan calling it. Now the 5's a bit tricky, but good safety options for her here. And this would important point of this match now. It's a must win for Jordan, so turning the screws on her opponent may be the order of the day. She's called the bank, and I can't imagine that's for insurance, Eric.
Yeah, she knows she has to make something happen here. Hit the proper side of the miss. Chance always to get safe. She has to an extent, but Wang's going to look to play the cue ball behind the 6 here. Shot.
Yep, nice and close to the 6.
It's the easiest kicking option for Helfry. Gonna be kicking the 5 into open space.
Ooh, it threatened to knock the 9 in. It didn't. But the 5 ball has sat quite close to it. Would tease Wang with a combination opportunity. But the cue ball's going to be careering off up towards the 6, 8. More importantly, the corner pocket.
Yeah, I think the carom's there if you go through it thickly. That's what she tried.
She did.
Got a little lucky with the result here. Nothing offensive for Helfry.
Well, Helfry's back at the table, though. And that's the most important thing for the young American right now. She can develop a good safety from here. Maybe even go aggressive. Yeah, just coming up short with the cue ball again, Eric, and a couple of shots coming up short for the players.
Wang's going to run into the 6, but ideally she'll run into it thin enough that the cue ball doesn't go off into the top right. Good try. That would have been the win there, Gethin. Or a good chance at the win for sure. Just slightly overcut it. The 9 ball's in a tough spot. Tough to see from this camera angle how far it is off the rail. It does have space between the rail and the side. I think just enough considering how close it is that she'll be able to play the 9 on the side here.
Well, this will be a great opportunity for Helfry to mount the comeback. Played it off the 10. Now, is that 9 just fallen into a tricky spot? From this angle, it looks like it may have, but from the overhead, I'm pretty sure it looked like it was over the middle pocket. Bit deceiving from here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really close to the rail, so ideally she'd want to be a little closer to it to really figure out how she's going to cut it. But there is space between the rail and the 9. Shot.
Yeah, nicely navigated. And a great response to her opponent getting on the hill. Jordan Helfrey from the USA builds on her score and now trails 6 racks to 3. Quick update from our other table. Same scoreline. Savannah Easton leading Linnea Halmerstrom by 6 racks to 3. So the Roadrunner getting to the hill in our other semi-final. Just to let you know, coming up today after this semi-final round, we'll have the Predator WPA Junior World Championships under 17 boys kicking off at 12 o'clock local time. That's 35 minutes from now. And then following that, the boys under 19s at 3 p.m. And then we'll move to the Little Monsters Men's International Open semi-finals at 5 p.m. Oh, and a good break from Jordan Helfrey there. The 6-ball coming round the rails.
Yeah, look at the one. Went in last minute. Thin one for Helfrey. Safes are going to involve draw. Always tougher to draw a safe.
Yeah, not been as tight with her safeties as she started off earlier in this match. And you feel the quality of both these players, you really do need to put each other in a bit more trouble. A lot of balls in the center of the table to hide behind.
Found cover on this one. Might be able to kick between the 2-4, 2 rails towards the 1. Good long distance jump there from Helfrey. No way to foresee the 1 going in the corner. So option now for Wang.
Yeah, she does have options. There is a pathway for the blue 2 into this corner pocket, but not really any value from going for it. Look to bring the 3 into play. Looks like she's successfully done that. So 2 tricky positions Jordan has found herself in. Would ideally love to turn this situation around.
Go for the cue ball on the side. It's found it. So first chance for Wang here to get over the finish line. Position towards the 3 is a little tough. Easiest position would be for the 3 in the right middle. But would want to avoid that play, being pretty sharp and pretty far from the side pocket. Just looking at getting over for the 3 in the left middle. I like that. A little tougher on the cue ball control, but much more comfortable on the 3.
Good awareness of the shot clock, calmly calls her extension. As you pointed out, Eric, very crucial part of this rack, as she'll be keen to take the match at this opportunity. But She might have to come up with a couple of big shots before then. There's 3 in the corner. Centre pocket, Eric, and that's a good leave for the 4 as well.
Yeah, good look at the win now. I like drawing this. It's okay, but I thought she could put herself in danger of getting behind the 7 if she didn't draw it. Looks like she's just okay.
She's made a few power draws today, Eric. Didn't need to power up so much on that. Was going towards the 9, a favourable bounce, and she leaves herself quite nice on this 7 now. Ooh, the cue ball's gone against the long rail. Still expected to pot this, but fine margins.
Yeah, just trying to maintain angle on the 9. She has 2 more balls for a spot in the final now. I don't mind keeping a level cue here. But nicely executed, and she's straight in for the win now.
And makes the 10. A strong performance from the Chinese Taipei player Mingling Wang, who came up against a tough Jordan Helfry of the USA and held it to a 7-3 win. She will progress through to the final being played tomorrow. The other match still underway, although on the hill, on our other TV table, if you want to catch the end of that. And coming up on our next matches, the under-17s Predator WPA Junior World Championships semi-finals, and that will be 2 matchups, one between the Estonian Rivo Meimre, takes on the Polish Jakub Trobot, and in the other match, another Polish player, Viktor Kaczmarek, will be taking on Max Benko. So please do stay tuned. Their match is taking place in the next 30 minutes. My name is Gethin Davis. It's been my pleasure to be joined with the semi-final with my good friend Eric Horlifson. Thank you, Eric. We will be back with you in 30 minutes.